Welcome to the 2025 Economic Depression and Preparation Channel. Thank you for joining me on this April 1st, 2025 Tuesday edition, April Fool's edition. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel or at least hit the like button on your way in for the latest interpretation of financial news. We're not financial advisors, but we do interpret financial news as it becomes available in the U.S. I appreciate your support as always. That those have been rocking with me for years here. We're currently talking about Goldman Sachs, NPR.org, is raising probability of a U.S. recession to 35%. Now this is up from 20% here. Goldman Sachs is raising the prospect of a U.S. recession here, and it's largely due to President Trump's tariffs, but also due to the impact of the job economy. Like I said, there hasn't been much job creation, and the people that do have jobs, the wages have not been keeping pace with inflation, and there's just not been a lot going on in that department. So the combination of high prices, jobs stagnant, and not a lot of creation of new jobs is going to lead to this recession chance, especially in the fall as we get past this summer and those tariffs start hitting on all cars, food, appliances, you name it. It's just going to be very interesting to see this because, the mandate, the lower prices that we're given, prices are going to be going up and passed on to all of us as Americans. As you see here, factories around the world brace for Trump tariffs here. And there's an article by Reuters.com. You look at the EV production, EV cars, regular cars going up, even used cars. Now, this is ironic because you remember before the pandemic, ladies and gentlemen, people were getting offers on their used cars, $10,000 to $15,000 above asking price from dealerships. Private people were seeking these cars, I guess, for parts or just to use. And now here we are 5 years later after the pandemic, and cars prices are going to go up to the moon. Appliances. Now, this is not going to happen exactly in 1 month time. This is going to be a slow process, but still it's going to be happening here. And Eurozone factories see bounce in March, but they're continuing to brace for this. U.S., Japan, South Korea, Taiwan see factory activity shrink, obviously, because of this situation here that we have with these tariffs here. Activity slumped in March. It will continue to slump in April here as we just get started here. We're heading into the second quarter here now, spring and summer of this 2025 financial season, ladies and gentlemen. And with the Federal Reserve Bank not cutting interest rates at all, and like I said, I told you in the previous video, they're not going to be cutting rates possibly to September, October, and that's only going to be a 25 basis point rate cut. So they'll be behind the curve if this inflation takes off, like the tariffs, and if we don't get a bunch of job creation this summer, which many economists don't see that happening here. So it's going to be a slow year around the world. Manufacturing is shrinking. The PMI index below 50 indicates contraction. A sub-index for new orders fell to its lowest since May 2023. So we're slowing down here with these economic indicators. As you know, the American consumer, CNNBusiness.com, just said today that the American consumer is, quote, on the ropes. Tariffs and anxiety could deliver the knockout blow. More than 70 to 75% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And regardless of where you are in the country, not everybody is, but 70 to 75% is living paycheck to paycheck, and that's, verifiable. A lot of economists say that, a lot of experts say that on the news and other places. So, we're stretched thin. We're stretched thin with bills, with tariffs, with taxes. If you're not getting a tariff, you're getting some kind of tax. Now they're thinking about, some states are thinking about a sugar tax on unhealthy tax on your vending machines for these kids in the school lunches. And you got, all these different taxes that could be adding up here. And that's just not counting the debt loads that these countries face and that America faces with $36 trillion of debt that's supposedly going to be written off in some kind of jubilee that many people believe when the new digital CBDC comes in, whenever that comes in, or some kind of digital coin, but nobody knows. But the bottom line is that we're in an economic stagnation here. We have high inflation, high interest rates, according to CNNBusiness.com, have contributed to vulnerabilities among consumers, making them all more susceptible at a time where the sheer unpredictability of the Trump administration's policies, including massive tariffs that are projected to, quote, result in higher prices, are chilling spending and investment plans. In other words, the days of easy money where we had quantitative easing, printing money, and stimulus checks are over. Remember, many people had thought initially that we would get a stimulus check from Doge or from President Trump himself to start off his term. Some people were saying it was going to be $5,000. That didn't happen. That didn't materialize. So no stimulus checks are looking to be coming this year. Not that we all want one, because that would mean that and raise prices even more faster. The more money you print up into the system, and they'll be gone in a month anyway. So it's not like it's going to be anything that's going to stimulate this U.S. economy or UK's economy or Europe's economy or Asia's economy. So it's not going to work that way. So shopping is down. As you can see, the car lots are full here. Luxury dealers are full. EV lots are full. Used car lots are full here. Wages according to this article, continue to outpace inflation. Overall, income growth has been strong thanks to a still tight labor market, but that's not really what we're seeing on the streets. It's taking people longer to find new jobs or to get a promotion, at least 6 months to 1 year, to sometimes a year and a half here, in this job network, and that's both in the private, public sector. That's in the small business sector here. Many small businesses are reluctant to hire new workers, so they got to pay all these extra benefits that they don't have enough room for. They're already raising prices on a lot of their products here. So just think about the basic products that are going to be going up. Food, your booze, like alcohol or tequila, they've been showing that on the news, saying that's going to go up. Appliances, everything is going up. And so besides your paycheck. And so this is going to be a big problem here. If people don't have jobs, this article just said right here, just talking about it. It says if people don't have jobs, quote, then they can't spend. Well, that's pretty much common sense there. Math, there. So we have to look at that. Americans are scrambling to buy cars ahead of tariffs. Once again, where car prices are high, remember, we get cars, even though they're made in America, they still have foreign parts in them from somewhere. And even the cars that are made outside of America still have to be shipped here or imported here on a ship, a cargo ship, or or a container ship or whatever, and that costs money. And so these prices, average price of new cars are above $40,000, and that's not even fully loaded. I'm talking about for these basic trucks or whatever. You can't even get a pickup truck now for under $40,000. In whether it's Toyota, Ford, or Honda, or whatever kind of truck you want. It's expensive. You can't. These cars are going insane. Even used cars. A decent used car run you $15,000, that runs good and that keeps its value. So let me know what you think in the comments. What are you doing to prepare for this upcoming recession here, either in the summer or the fall? I'd be curious to see what have you been cutting back on to help mitigate the damages that's could be felt in all of our wallets here, regardless of our political or economic beliefs. Everyone's going to be bracing for a slowdown here around the world as we're experiencing these higher costs to live. Just to have a roof over our head and have a vehicle or transportation to get to work, or the case may be. But continue to strive to get out, exercise, take care of your mind and your heart and your body is so important. Your spiritual, your mental is so important to take care of that, because that's going to help see you through not just hard times but the good times as well. There's everything here is temporary. There's eternal things that we have to look forward to. You and I both know that. And so God bless. Continue to prepare. I'll talk to you soon on Thursday when we get those jobs numbers, which I expect to see another decrease in the new job creation, and I expect to see an adjustment downward from last month's numbers. So we'll see what happens on Thursday. God bless. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Be sure to hit that like button. I appreciate your support. Take care.